My Lord Honourable Chief Justice, my Lord Honourable Judges, Justice P. Venkat Ram Reddy, Judge Supreme Court of India retired, Justice Challa Kodanram, Justice Ithirajulu, Chairman of the Bar Council, Additional Solicitor General of India, Additional Advocates General, Deputy Solicitor General of India, Public Prosecutor, President of the Telangana High Court Advocates Association, Registrars, Director of the Judicial Academy, Secretary of the Telangana State Legal Services Authority, Secretary of Law and Legislative Affairs, Government of Telangana, respected senior members of the bar, friends, family of late Justice S.Parvatha, ladies and gentlemen. We assemble here today in the full court to pay tribute to an illustrious jurist and judge of this honorable court, Justice S.Parvatha, whose life and work exemplified the highest standards of integrity, scholarship, and commitment to the rule of law. Justice Parvatha passed away on 11 December 2024, leaving a void in the profession and society he served with distinction. Justice S. Parvatha was born on 26 November 1935 in Ungutur, Andhra Pradesh, and began his journey of academic excellence with his matriculation in Banaras and +2 studies in SRR and CBR College, Vijayawada. His Lordships obtained BSc Agriculture degree at Loyola College, Madras in 1953. Further demonstrating a keen intellect and thirst for knowledge, he pursued his higher education at the renowned University of Oxford, England, from 1954 to 1957 in physics, philosophy, and politics. Upon his return to India, Justice Parvatha completed his formal legal training at Madras Law College and enrolled as an advocate on 14th August 1961. Justice Parvatha honed his legal acumen in the chambers of eminent legal stalwarts, including D. Narsaraju, the first Advocate General of the United States of Andhra Pradesh, and as junior to NVB Shankar Rao and Justice Raghuveer during their tenures as government leaders. Justice Raghuveer was later elevated as Judge of the High Court of Andhra Pradesh and Chief Justice of the Guwahati High Court. Justice Parvatha's outstanding abilities, marked by keen analytical insight and a profound understanding of the law, soon earned him recognition within the legal community. Justice Parvatha was a member of the Executive Committee and Chairman of the Company Law Committee of the Federation of the Andhra Pradesh Chambers of Commerce. Justice Parvatha was a member of the Bar Council of the State of Andhra Pradesh and Vice President of the Andhra Pradesh High Court Advocates Association. These qualities led to his elevation to the bench of the Honourable High Court of Andhra Pradesh on 16th March 1990, and with a distinguished tenure of 7 years until his retirement in 1997, Justice Parvatha authored several significant judgments that have contributed greatly to the evolution of jurisprudence in the state. Some of his notable cases are in Bakelite Hylam Limited versus Commissioner of Income Tax, reported in 1992 SEC Online AP 377, which was decided on June 19, 1992 by a full bench of the Honourable High Court of Andhra Pradesh, comprising Justice Syed Shah Mohammad Qadri, Justice N.D. Patnaik, and Justice S. Parvatha, who authored the judgment. The case addressed the interpretation of Section 214 of the Income Tax Act 1961 regarding the eligibility of taxpayers to claim interest on the excess advance tax paid during the financial year, but not on the prescribed dates. The petitioner, Bakelite Hylam, had paid advance tax in installments during the financial year 71-72, including a substantial additional payment in March 1972. During the assessment conducted in May 1976, it was determined that the advance tax paid exceeded the total tax liability for the assessment year 72-73, entitling the petitioner to a refund. However, the income tax officer denied interest on the refundable amount under Section 214, citing that the additional payments were not made on the specified due dates under Section 211. The decision of the ITO was upheld by the Commissioner of Income Tax Appeals and the Income Tax Appellate Tribunal, based on an earlier ruling in Kangudi Industrial Works versus ITO. Justice Parvat Rao, delivering the judgment of the full bench, overruled the earlier precedent in Kangudi Industrial Works. His Lordship undertook a purposive interpretation of Section 214, emphasizing that the provision's intent was to reward taxpayers who paid more than their assessed liability during the financial year, regardless of adherence to the specific due dates. The judgment reaffirmed the principles of equitable treatment and fiscal fairness. Justice Parvat Rao underscored that statutory provisions must be interpreted in a manner that aligns with the underlying purpose, promoting compliance without imposing unnecessary procedural barriers. By allowing interest on all advance tax paid within the financial year, the full bench ensured that taxpayers would not be unfairly penalized for procedural lapses that did not prejudice revenue collection. This decision has since been cited as a landmark in tax jurisprudence. Justice Parvat Rao's expansive interpretation of Section 214 established a level playing field between taxpayers and the revenue authorities. In Theatre Sangamesh versus Deputy Commissioner Entertainment Tax, reported in 1993, SEC Online AP page 1, a full bench of the Honourable High Court of Andhra Pradesh, comprising Justice Syed Shah Mohammad Qadri, Justice N.D. Patnaik and Justice S.Parvatha Rao. The judgment, being authored by Justice S.Parvatha Rao, centered on the interpretation of obligations under the Andhra Pradesh Entertainment Tax Act and the Andhra Pradesh Cinemas Regulation Rules 1970, concerning tax liability and procedural requirements for cinema proprietors. The judgment addressed the appellant's argument that the additional tax assessments were arbitrary and lacked a clear basis. Justice Parvat Rao applied the principles of procedural fairness, holding that while proprietors were required to comply with the Act's procedural requirements, any failure to do so must be assessed in light of substantive compliance. His Lordships highlighted that the authorities bore the burden of demonstrating that since procedural lapses had resulted in actual tax evasion or misrepresentation. Parvat Rao dismissed the application of promissory estoppel, which the appellant sought to invoke based on the authorities' prior acceptance of their tax practices. His Lordships clarified that statutory obligations would not be overridden by representations or omissions by government authorities. He reiterated that the principle that estoppel would not apply where it conflicted with the express provisions of a statute, particularly in matters involving public revenue. In SSR Sharma and another versus Registrar High Court of Andhra Pradesh, reported in 1997 SEC Online AP 364, which was decided on June 16, 1997 by a full bench of the Honourable High Court of Andhra Pradesh, comprising Justice P.S. Mishra CJ, Justice S.Parvatha Rao and Justice V. Rajgopal Reddy, the judgment being authored by Justice S.Parvatha Rao, addressed the interpretation of the term degree in law under the Andhra Pradesh High Court Service Rules 1975 for determining eligibility for promotions. The petitioners employed as court masters in the Andhra Pradesh High Court sought promotions to the position of Assistant Registrar. They relied on their Bachelor of General Laws (BGL) degrees obtained through correspondence courses as satisfying the degree in law, the requirement stipulated under Rule 75A of the Service Rules. However, their promotions were denied based on a prior decision of the division bench ruling in D.A. Padmanabham versus High Court of Andhra Pradesh, which held that a BGL degree did not qualify as a degree in law for similar eligibility criteria under judicial service rules. The petitioners contended that earlier clarifications issued by the Andhra Pradesh Public Service Commission and certain universities recognize the BGL degree as equivalent to an LLB for administrative purposes. Justice Parvat Rao dismissed this argument, emphasizing that the statutory requirements under the service rules would not be overridden by administrative clarifications or past practices. His Lordships further noted that the curriculum of BGL program lacked key components such as the Civil Procedure Code, a critical subject for the role in question. Justice Parvath judgment reinforced the importance of clarity and consistency in service rules to prevent ambiguities in eligibility criteria. His Lordships emphasized that qualifications prescribed for promotions must align with the role's functional requirements and the broader objectives of the judiciary. The decision also underscored the principle that administrative actions and clarifications must operate within the boundaries of statutory provisions. This case is significant for its thorough analysis of the eligibility criteria in judicial and administrative service rules. Justice Parvath reasoning ensured that promotions were based on merit and statutory compliance, thereby enhancing the transparency and integrity of the selection process. The judgment continues to serve as an authoritative reference in cases concerning qualifications and service rules. In Dr. B. Sudhakar versus Union of India, reported in 1994 SEC Online AP 121, the case was heard by a full bench of the Honourable High Court of Andhra Pradesh, comprising Justice Syed Shah Mohammad Qadri, Justice P. Venkatram Reddy, and Justice B. S. Rayakote, and arose from a writ petition filed by Dr. B. Sudhakar. The learned single judge, Justice S.Parvatha, had referred the matter to a division bench consisting of Justice A. Lakshman Rao and Justice A. Dasratharam Reddy, highlighting significant inconsistencies in the interpretation of paragraph 5 of the Andhra Pradesh Educational Institutions Regulation of Admission Order 1974, the presidential order. In earlier judgments, the division bench, agreeing with views of the learned single judge, Justice Parvath, in turn referred the case to a full bench for a conclusive interpretation. The petitioner, Dr. Sudhakar, had secured the highest rank in the entrance examination for admission to DM Nephrology course at Osmania Medical College. However, the sole seat available for the course was allocated to a local candidate under paragraph 5 of the presidential order. The petitioner challenged this allocation, contending that merit should prevail in single seat courses and that the reservation scheme under the presidential order was arbitrary and violative of Article 14 and 371D of the Constitution. Justice Parvath referral was instrumental in initiating a comprehensive examination of the interplay between the reservation scheme and constitutional guarantees. He noted potential conflicts with precedents including Dr. Fazal Ghafoor versus Principal Osmania Medical College and Dr. Ashok Kumar versus University of Health Sciences. By emphasizing the need for referral for a broader analysis, Justice Parvath underscored the potential for systemic inequities arising from the existing interpretation of paragraph 5. The full bench concluded that the reservation of the sole seat in favor of local candidates was consistent with the intent of the presidential order. It emphasized that Article 371D was introduced to address historical inequalities in Andhra Pradesh, ensuring equitable access to education for candidates across different local areas. The bench held that paragraph 5's proviso, which mandates at least one unreserved seat, did not override the general reservation scheme for non-statewide institutions. This judgment, therefore, reaffirmed the precedence of regional equity over absolute merit in specific contexts. Justice Parvath foresight in identifying the broader implications of the case and his meticulous framing of the issues for the division bench were pivotal in shaping the full bench's deliberations. His efforts ensured that the constitutional objectives of 371D were examined holistically, reinforcing the balance between administrative efficiency and substantive equality in educational access. The decision stands as a testament of Justice Parvath's dedication to judicial clarity and his commitment to addressing systematic disparities. This case continues to be a significant reference in understanding the dynamics of regional reservations and their alignment with constitutional principles. In Sampurna Madhya Nisheda Samiti versus State of Andhra Pradesh, the case was decided by a full bench of the Honourable High Court of Andhra Pradesh, comprising Chief Justice P.S. Mishra, Justice Shah Mohammad Qadri, and Justice Y. Bhaskar Rao. So, full bench, larger bench, Justice S.Parvatha and Justice P. Venkatram Reddy. The petitioners challenged the constitutional validity of the AP Prohibition Act 1997, which partially revoked the total prohibition imposed by the AP Prohibition Act 1995. By permitting regulated sale and consumption of certain types of liquor, the Amendment Act marked a significant policy shift. A key issue examined by the bench was whether the Amendment Act violated Article 14 of the Constitution by being arbitrary and unreasonable. The court observed that legislative policy decisions are inherently complex and involve balancing competing societal interests. This is Parvat Rao's inputs during the discussions underscored the principle that courts must exercise restraint when reviewing legislative action unless clear constitutional violations are evident. He highlighted that the legislature's prerogative to regulate intoxicating liquors under Entry 8 of the state list allowed flexibility in policy formulation, including the power to amend or modify prohibition policies based on evolving needs. As we reflect on the life and legacy of Justice S.Parvatha Rao, it is incumbent to reflect on his contributions beyond the courtroom. Through his meticulous reasoning, commitment to fairness, and dedication to the rule of law, he helped shape jurisprudence and left an indelible mark on the legal fraternity, which stand as an enduring testament to his intellectual rigor and profound understanding of the law. Justice P. Venkatram Reddy, Justice Parvat Rao, Justice Ishwar Prasad, Justice P.L.N. Sharma, and Justice A. Gopal Rao were all sworn in on the same day. Justice Parvat Rao's legacy is not only found in the legal precedents he set, but also the inspiration he provided to generations of lawyers and judges at the bar. Lawyers trained in his office have attained remarkable success. Senior Counsel M. Narendra Reddy, Senior Counsel B. Narasimha Sharma, the present Additional Solicitor General of India, Senior Counsel B. Narayan Reddy, former Assistant Solicitor General of India, and Senior Counsel K.S. Murthy, all are from his office. Justice Kodanram and Justice Vijay Lakshmi are also from his office, and Justice Kodanram is his son-in-law. At the bar, we all knew the intimate friendship of Justice Lakshman Rao, Justice M.N. Rao, Justice Parvat Rao, Senior Counsel M.B. Ramna Reddy, and C. Sadasiva Reddy, though their intimacies off the court never affected their judicial orders. He adhered to high values as a judge and dispensed his judicial duties in the true spirit without being influenced by caste, creed, or color. After retiring as a judge, the state government appointed him as the chairman of the State Consumer Forum. He advocated that state properties in land or revenue should be protected as that constitute public property or public exchequer for that reason. Justice Parvat Rao was influenced by the teaching of Sri Vinoba Bhave, who started the Bhudan movement. Justice Parvat Rao, even when his 3 children were in school, had donated 27 acres to Gautami Seva Samiti out of the 30 acres of his land which he held. Justice Parvat Rao's courage and self-confidence to donate when the children were very young and all of them were girls is laudable and is something of a rare act of benevolence. Later, he also gave away 5 acres to Kanakabidu for a cowshed. He gave away his entire ancestral property without any evidence of any benefit to the family, directly or indirectly, which speaks volumes of his great character. His close interaction with Vidwan Reddy, an educationist and in charge of the Saraswati Vidya Mandir, molded his political thought in later years. Justice Parvat Rao donated 48 cents of land in his native Ungutur for the Dr. Sunkavalli Vignan Bharati School. In addition, he donated 10 lakhs of his funds for the construction of the school. He built a building on the 280 yards of land which he had on Ungutur Highway for the sale of organic cow products at a cost of 16 lakhs. He was elected as the honorary president of the Keshav Memorial Educational Society. He streamlined the functioning of the high school and the junior college. He was instrumental in elevating the status of the institution, which ultimately paved the way for establishment of Keshav Memorial Institute of Technology, which is a premier institute of higher education functioning in the middle of Hyderabad city. Justice Parvat Rao was the president of Adhivakta Parishad between years 2007 and 2013, which is now headed by Senior Advocate K.S. Murthy. Regarding his personal life, Justice Parvat Rao was married to Srimati He ensured that all the three children received proper higher education, and he also encouraged and supported his wife to pursue her matriculation, then a degree, post-graduation and law degree. In fact, Justice Parvat Rao's wife, Srimati Lakshmikantam, attended law college with her eldest daughter, Padma. This shows his commitment that irrespective of age, education and knowledge must be encouraged and can be achieved. Justice Parvat Rao's eldest daughter, Srimati Padmavati, is a lawyer and married to Justice Kodanram, and their daughter Bharati is continuing with the legacy in pursuing her law at Nalsar University. Second daughter, Srimati Anuradha, is married to Mr. Ravi Shankar, a chartered accountant and a partner of Brahmaya and Company, a reputed auditing firm. His third daughter, Srimati Jyotirmayi, is married to Mr. Lalit Mitta, and both are accomplished architects. He was deeply respected not only for his legal acumen, but also for his dedication to the community, his advocacy for education, and his support for charitable causes reflected a life lived in service to others. Though the journey of Justice Parvat Rao has come to an end, he will always be remembered as an inspirational figure. On behalf of the entire legal fraternity, I extend heartfelt condolences to the family and loved ones of Justice S. Parvat Rao. His Lordship's legacy will continue to guide and inspire us as we carry forward his vision of justice and fairness. May his soul rest in peace.
My esteemed colleagues on the bench, Mr. Justice P.V. Reddy, former Judge Supreme Court of India, Mr. Justice C. Kodandaram, former Judge of this Court, Mr. B. Narsim Sharma, Additional Solicitor General of India, Mr. A. Sudarshan Reddy, Advocate General, Mr. A. Narsimha Reddy, Chairman Bar Council of Telangana, Mr. A. Ravinder Reddy, President Telangana High Court Advocates Association, Mr. P. N. Rao, Public Prosecutor, Dr. G. Yeti Raju, President Retired Judges Association, learned senior advocates and members of the bar, Registrar and staff members of the High Court, Law Secretary, Member Secretary, Legal Services Authority, family members of late Justice S. Parvat Rao. We have assembled here to condole the sad demise of late Justice S. Parvat Rao, former judge of erstwhile High Court of Andhra Pradesh, who left for his heavenly abode on 11th of December 2024 at Hyderabad. Late Justice Parvat Rao mainly practiced in taxation and company laws. He was chairman of Company Law Committee of Federation of Andhra Pradesh Chamber of Commerce and Industry. He was a member of the Bar Council of Andhra Pradesh. His proficiency in taxation and company laws was soon recognized, and he was elevated as Judge of Andhra Pradesh High Court on 16th of March 1990. Justice Rao's dedication to upholding legal principles and his influence on development of law in Andhra Pradesh is reflected in several judgments. In one of his most notable decisions, Justice Rao upheld the right of students who appeared for the engineering, agriculture and medical common entrance test to have their answer sheets revalued. In a decision rendered in the year 1996 dealing with contempt case, Justice Rao upheld the judiciary's authority in maintaining the decorum of the court and respect for legal process. The law reports bear a testimony to his sound knowledge in taxation and company laws. Justice Rao was known for his people-centric approach. After superannuation, Justice Rao dedicated his life to philanthropy, education and societal development. His post-retirement activities were marked by remarkable contribution to societal causes and sustainable living. Justice Rao was appointed as chairman of the State Consumer Redressal Commission and was founding member and life member of National Society for Promotion and Advancement of Legal Studies and Research. Justice Rao donated about 27 acres of his land out of 30 acres of agricultural land to charitable organizations. He had keen interest in promotion of organic farming. He contributed funds and efforts for construction of school buildings and supported educational initiatives. Justice Rao was actively involved in with the Prajna Bharati and Akhil Bharati Adhivakta Parishad and contributed to intellectual, legal and cultural discussions. Justice Rao mentored young lawyers and participated in seminars and conferences to promote legal ethics and transparency. Justice Rao led a simple life reflecting his commitment to ethical and societal living. His generosity, humility earned him a widespread admiration as he worked tirelessly for societal betterment even in his advanced years. His post-retirement life serves as an exemplary model as to how one can contribute meaningfully to the society beyond a formal career. Late Justice Parvat Rao is survived by his wife, Mrs. Lakshmi Kantaramma, and three daughters, Mrs. Padmavati, Mrs. Radha, and Mrs. Jyotirmayi. Justice Kodandaram, his elder son-in-law, was also a judge of this court. On behalf of my sister and brother judges and on my own behalf, we extend our heartfelt condolences to the bereaved family and pray to the Almighty to grant eternal peace to departed soul. As a mark of respect to the departed soul, we shall observe a silence for 2 minutes. Work for rest of the day shall remain suspended.